If you're a parent of a child who struggles with tolerating the word no, or you're trying to use it and it's just a trigger, if this is your learner, then stick around because we're going to talk about how to teach no to a child so that we reduce problem behavior. In this video, we're going to talk about how to help a child tolerate the word no and reduce their problem behaviors around that trigger word. I'm going to give you 5 ways to do it, plus 1 bonus. So you have a learner who really loves it when you tell them no. It's a delight, right? They go right with the flow. Watching this video, probably not. So here's the first thing that I want you to think about: visual supports and rewording. Yes, I know the entire point is that they tolerate the word no, but we do have to start somewhere. So let's talk about visual supports and rewording, reframing the word no. What type of alternatives do you have? Things like not right now, I don't know if that's available. Pairing that with a visual support. So typically what I try to do is use an available and non-available T-chart. Here's an example right here. You can do something like this, where the things that you would like the child to make a choice between is visually represented. When you're doing something like this, I do try to stick within the category of items that that child is interested in. Let me rephrase that. I try to stick within items that are in the same preference level as the one they're asking for. So if they're asking for, I don't know, a bike ride, then they may be looking for something that has some activity to it. And if a bike ride is not available because it is thunderstorming outside, then what options can I give that might provide the sensory input that they also like as much as their bike ride? The second thing we think about is you want to practice. I love pre-teaching. I can't say it enough to anybody who will just listen. You have to practice these things when it's not DEFCON 1. You need to go through these types of things when your learner is in a calmer state. So let's think about practicing no, not right now, when we're not elevated, when it's not a high stakes game for the child. You also want to consider doing these types of things with short durations. So no right now, they're calm for a couple of seconds and you're like, you know what, you did such a great job waiting. I'm going to give it to you anyway. So you want to think about those types of things. And the concept of quiet-based visiting, which my video is right here, you can check that out as well. This is the backbones to that. So the two things are interconnected. You are teaching that this behavior of waiting quietly or waiting calmly is going to bring you the results that you want. The third thing you can consider is to pair with a visual timer. So how much time will elapse before something becomes available? And this is something where you're really just delaying. So you might say, no, not right now. And then when is that item going to be available? Again, this also runs off of quiet-based visiting. You want to catch them while they're good. You want to make sure that they are not elevated. You want to be able to reinforce when they're demonstrating that behavior of being able to wait for a period of time, that not only tolerated, no, not right now, but they are now waiting for a period of time until that thing becomes available. So when is that going to be available? An example I can use from one of my parent trainings is the parent who's on the phone. I'm on the phone and all of a sudden we need mommy or we need daddy. So how can you say, wait, no, not right now, and show them when that item that they are asking for becomes available? Consider a choice board in your environment. If you're going to say no, something is not available, you can't have this even within the next few hours, what can you have right now? What are our choices in the environment? So there might be choices available in specific environments. So if we're at grandma's house, certain choices are available that are not available to me when I'm at home, and vice versa. So having that visually available to them so that you really have something to lean on when you need it. Another reason that you would want to use that is in their own environment, things may just not be available at that time. It's not part of the routine. So if it's bedtime or we're getting ready for bed, then our choices are going to be things that help promote calm. It's not going to be things that excite us and elevate us and raise our cortisol levels. So jumping on the trampoline in the backyard may not be available. However, these other things, our teardrop swing in our bedroom or in the living room, are available and provide sensory input as well. You also want to make time to practice. Vote with your feet. Pick this hill to die on. If this is important to you, then you want to, she has to do it every time I record, but I love her. Pick this hill. So I have a video on how to select the challenges that you want to work with, right? The challenges that you want to deal with as a parent. We can't pick we don't have the bandwidth for that. But if you're going to pick a hill and saying no to your child is important because it is a trigger, then make sure that you're dealing with this, and you're dealing with this in a proactive, positive way by making time to practice, having your visuals in place, making sure you're doing this during times where the child's not already elevated, that you can control for some of the elements of the environment. If they really like A and B is just as important to them, then maybe you're saying, no, A isn't available, but I've got this, and this is, you love this is great. So help them to make that choice and understand that no is not the worst thing to hear, because over time that item does become available. Teaching toleration. As part of the prior practice, you want to consider things like using books that are related to or demonstrate children having to be told no or having to wait for something and the outcome is still okay, right? You can use video modeling. If you can't find videos on YouTube, then if you have little nieces, nephews, cousins, you can recruit people to create a 1 to 2 minute video where we demonstrate the discrete skill that we're trying to teach. They ask for something, they're told no, or they need to wait, they do so, and then they either get a choice of something different or they get what they asked for. And of course, you can also look at social stories. I think Magic Bus or Magic School Bus is a great website where you can actually write in what you want the social story to be, and it will feed out a social story that then you can edit and add pictures to and customize, personalize for your learner. The bonus I want to give you is think of criteria. So if you're a learner, your child understands criteria, then you can talk about things and you can add this into some of that pre-teaching of what do we use at this point? Is this appropriate during this time? Is this part of the routine? Is this a good choice? So an example might be, is it a good choice to go for a bike ride in a thunderstorm, right? What would be a better choice during this time? Or it's not part of the routine, so what other choices do we have? Using the tablet in my bed at night is not part of the routine that's been established, but what items can I use in my bed at night? A squishy, a blanket, something of that nature, where this isn't available, but you do have other choices. So from the choice list or from the choice board, what are we going to select? If this resonates with you, check me out on Thinkific, where you'll find webinars that I have put up related to sleep. All of the things that we talked about today, tolerating no, being able to wait, that all relates and translates to the bedtime routine. I put up webinars for both parents and BCBAs related to sleep, the foundational skills, and some of the things you should be considering if you're trying to improve sleep for your learner. And this concept of tolerating no is part of that. So go check that out. You can find me on Instagram as well, where I put up tons of reels and I have free resources for you. So go grab those. And of course, subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you will know when I post videos. And till next time.